Hello, geographers. Welcome to our Urban Futures case study. So this case study is of a city in an advanced country, and we chose to study London. So having a look at where this fits in our specification, you have to look at an emerging or a developing country. So low-income developing country. We obviously looked at Lagos in Nigeria. And within each city, you look at the contrasting ways of life, the geographical processes, problems, and solutions to gain an understanding of what makes up that urban place, that sense of place. So, what it's like for people that live there, and then looking also at sustainability, investigating one initiative. So starting with the location of London, we should know where it is as our capital of the UK. So we know that London is a world city. It's our capital city and is an essential part of our economy. Over 20% of the UK's income comes from London, and it's the centre of the UK's transport system with road, rail, and shipping links. And you can see there in that bottom image, the M25 and the other motorway networks all join it. Obviously, originally the River Thames, an incredibly important link for London. So London has a major influence on its surrounding area. Companies are attracted to the region by the proximity to London, which increases jobs and wealth. The southeast and east of England are the two biggest regional economies in the UK outside of London. But it's also globally important. It's a world city along with New York, and it has more foreign banks in London than anywhere else. So looking at the population of London, it's over 8.6 million and it's growing. We know that a lot of people migrate to London. It has in 2014, around 100,000 more people arrived in London than left. That there's national migration too. People move to the city for work or to study. Also counter urbanisation as older people and families move out. So obviously people moving from the city to the countryside. Then you've got internal population growth as well. So young population means that there are more births than there are deaths. There are several top class universities like UCL, LSE and Imperial with a large student population. So 20% of students come from overseas. There are 5,000 people per kilometre squared. And it's also the most ethnically diverse city in the UK, with less than half white British. So London's character is hugely influenced by migration. Same ethnicities tend to settle in the same place. So you have clusters and pockets of the same ethnicities in London. So there are lots of different ways of life in London. The West End obviously has theatres, there's popular museums and galleries. It's the centre of fashion with London Fashion Week, one of the biggest fashion events in the world. There's high ethnic diversity, we've already said, like Chinatown is one ethnic background with food, music and goods from that culture. There's lots of festivals celebrating culture and different backgrounds, like Notting Hill, the Chinese New Year, proms and Eid. The housing in richer areas, like Kensington and Chelsea, like modern apartments or large houses with gardens, you may have seen Notting Hill. And in poorer areas, the housing density is much higher in sort of tower blocks. You might have seen Tower Hamlets and Newham in London, East London. Many buildings have been split to house multiple families. But there are lots of leisure facilities, lots of cinemas, concert venues, clubs, pubs, restaurants, lots of shopping like Oxford Street, Covent Garden, and many large parks like Hyde Park, and popular visitor attractions like the Tower of London. And there are obviously many world-class sports facilities, as you know. We hosted the Olympics in 2012. The wealth means that it consumes a huge amount of resources. People can afford it in lots of parts like food, water and energy. and London's consume nearly 7 million tonnes of food every year, most of which is imported. There are lots of challenges in London. Housing availability, homes are not built at the same pace, it's just not the space. Supply doesn't meet the demand, so house prices rise and rents are increasing. Rent is double the UK average and house prices are incredibly high. House sharing is common so that people can afford it. Transport provision as well, with a rising population and increased use, there's lots of stress on the system. The roads become incredibly congested. The average speed is 8 miles an hour. The London Underground is filled to capacity and regularly has to close during the day because it's over capacity. Access to services, it provides some of the best healthcare in the world, but obviously that is under stress as well. And so the large population means it can be difficult to access all these services. The NHS can be overwhelmed. The best schools are oversubscribed. Many children are at underperforming schools. And there's huge inequality. It's home to the richest and the poorest people in the UK. The average income in Kensington and Chelsea is 130,000, and in Newham is 38,000. And if you think that the average income in the UK is 38,000, living in a place where services are incredibly expensive, Newham, that 35,000 or so, sounds a lot, is not actually matching at all. So more than 25% of people here are living in poverty. There are also some unhealthy lifestyles which are more common in deprived areas of London. So we looked at sustainable solutions to London's transport problem, which is a big one. We know that sustainability is about improving things for people without negatively affecting future generations. So that's the whole focus of the London 2012 Olympics, and also London's transport issue. So the Mayor's transport strategy is to improve London's network and make it more sustainable, easing congestion and reducing pollution. There's a new crossrail, well, it's been built actually, the Elizabeth line, east to west to increase capacity by 10%, is brand new. The Bakerloo line being extended to Lewisham. There's rail and underground capacity has been increased. Some parts are now 24 hours. You've got dedicated bus lanes and roads are more suitable for cyclists. And obviously the congestion charges have been introduced to decrease the amount of congestion and air pollution. Let's have a look at an exam practice question, bearing in mind this looks at that last slide, an initiative that you have studied to make the city more sustainable. Now, it's one initiative. So if you took the Mayor's strategy, which is here, improving London's network, it's all about sustainability, the new railways, the Bakerloo. You could say that that is one initiative, or you could take the congestion charge, which is the last bullet point made. And it says, for an advanced country or country city that you have studied, discuss one initiative to make the city more sustainable. Now, obviously, the name of the city is London. Pause the video here and plan out what you would include in this answer, making sure that write it out first, bug the question, and then do a little plan. Obviously, you're bugging that and underlining that one initiative and underline the word sustainable. So if you have written out your answer and you want to mark it, check out a level 3, 5 to 6 marks. I hope that you managed to hit that level 3. An answer at this level demonstrates thorough knowledge of a sustainability initiative in an advanced city with a thorough understanding of how this initiative contributes. This will show well-developed. So the words that you need to pick out here are thorough, well-developed, and place-specific details for that city. So this is an example that you could include in a model answer. It's a short paragraph. It's not a complete answer at all. You could obviously attempt the Mayor's strategy. It's quite hard if you're doing the congestion charge, but here's part of it. In London, one idea to make the city more sustainable has been the attempts to tackle the problem of air pollution from the vehicles through the congestion charge. The idea was to reduce the number of cars and therefore reduce air pollution and greenhouse gases. The congestion charge is a fee paid by motorists for driving a vehicle into London during the week. When it was first introduced, it did reduce the traffic on the roads, but more recently, congestion and air pollution has become as bad as ever in London. Have a go, see how you can improve on that, making your answer a full 6 out of 6. Good luck.